Hi, this is Mark from Shellmark Sales again. So on Shellmark Sales, we sell collectibles and toys, but we also go under the name SMPostcards, and we sell vintage postcards on eBay and Etsy and Hip Postcards. So today, I'm going to go through the 19 cards that sold on eBay. We had 3 cards sell on Etsy, and I'm going to show you the postcards that sold so you get a good variety to know what's being sold out there is really what this is for. I'll tell you what I sold it for and where it's being shipped to, and any other comments about the card. And then also in the video, I'm going to go over a little exercise I put together as I was working through some numbers on how much you can make an hour selling postcards at the value that I sell them for, or lower cost items. A lot of people tend to think that you can't make a lot of profit. So I'll leave that up to you, but I'll run through the numbers in the video and anything else that pops in my mind about postcards. And also feel free to leave any comments below. I'll try to answer them if I can or someone else can. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first card that sold on eBay was Mount Chuck from Flagstaff. It's a divided back card, an older card. It's got the red writing up there, and it's posted for 1909 in there. So it's not in bad shape. I can feel the cardstock on it, but I think it's like an aerial view of a town. So in Flagstaff, so it's probably Arizona, but you can actually see the dam down there and the river and stuff. So that one sold, and that one's being shipped to Santa Ana, California. Okay, so the next card that sold was the St. Louis Cathedral and the Jackson Memorial in St. Louis. Nice chrome card of the cathedral there. It's postmarked 1959. It does have some writing on the back. It has a 3-cent stamp and Statue of Liberty on there. But that's the cathedral and the Jackson Memorial. This was a 2-card order. So this one is the same thing, the St. Louis Cathedral. Oh, it's in New Orleans. Why do I keep saying St. Louis? Cathedral there, kind of the same shot. If you look at both cards together, there are 2 different views. So the top one sold first, and then the second one. So someone must have had a rule or some kind of search, but they went through and they picked out the 2 different views of the cathedral. And this one doesn't have anything in the back, but both of them are really nice chrome cards, and both of them sold for $4.45 free shipping. So the total of that order was $8.95. So the next card that sold was the St. James Hooker Oak. It's 105 feet high, 14 feet wide, in Chico, California. It's a picture of a tree, an oak tree. So somebody must know something about the Sir James Hooker Oak in Chico, California. And it kind of gives the details at the top right up here in the writing. But this is a divided back card, possibly a chrome in there. But it's just a picture of a tree. So when people say what sells, everything sells. If you try to guess what people are going to buy, I tried it and I was wrong almost every time. So, but that one sold. But what I'm doing here for anybody that didn't go through the other videos before is I'll show you the card, what it sold for, and where it shipped to, and then if I remember, and then the packing part I'll cut out of the video. You don't need to see me putting it in an envelope and putting a label on it. So, but this one sold for $4, so it must have been a offer sent to a user, a 10% offer through eBay, which is great. I sell probably 40% of my cards are done by offers, and this is going to Wadsworth, Ohio. Okay, the next one that sold is Humboldt Park, Chicago, Illinois. So I'm just south of Chicago, about 60 miles, so pretty well aware of this one. But that's a nice card on there of the picture of the park. It's got, you know, just a view of how big that park is in there, and it's not posted. It doesn't have any writing on the back. And this card actually was out of the pack a lot of Chicago cards that I actually paid a little bit more than I normally do for cards on there. And this is actually being shipped to Chicago, Illinois, and it's sold for $4.45 free shipping. Next one is kind of a staged postcard. It's from Zoo Favorites is what it says up here. So I put that into the title. I titled it, I said Postcard Zoo Favorites as Old Rivals Meet. With an N, I'm not for sure what the schools are on there, but it's like a donkey and a ram with a goalpost. So it's a chrome card, not posted, so it's probably a sports fan. The card's pretty good. The edges are not bad at all, but that's what that is. And this card sold for $4.45, and it's going to go to Daly City in California. The next one that's sold is Pine Creek near Oregon, Illinois. It's a pretty cool picture of a bridge with the creek underneath. The card does have a tear at the top. I don't know if you can see that at all, but a piece of the, looks like it's been cut at the top there a little bit. Really shouldn't affect it too bad since it's along the edge, but this is divided back card. It was posted, I think 1905. Some writing on the back, some tanning a little bit. It's got a 1-cent stamp so on there, but that's a pretty nice card, even though it does have that little piece up there. But for being over 100 years old, not too bad. But I'm not afraid to post cards like that if the subject is pretty interesting. And if I remember this one, I really liked the way the bridge and the photograph was done on that. And this card actually sold for $4.45, and it is going to Mundelein, Illinois. So somebody in Illinois must know about this card, this creek or whatever, or been there, or just want something. Maybe they collect Illinois. I have one guy, all they collect is rhinoceros. So whenever there's a rhinoceros, purple, gray, whatever the postcard, he usually buys postcards with just rhinoceros, and that's what his collection's for. Another person just buys kittens. Another one just buys birds. So you never know. But if it's not in the title or description, their searches won't find it. It's harder for them to find. Sold is a picture or reprint of the young girl portrait by Rembrandt. So whenever I see these cards, I never know who's going to buy them, but I always put them up and they always do sell. So this is Rembrandt Young Girl at the Open is what it's called, but it's at the Art Institute in Chicago. All I did to put that in the title, I just put Postcard, Rembrandt, Young Girl in Open, half door. So that's what was written on the back. I didn't put anything about the Art Institute or anything. I just put the portrait on there. It's a chrome card, and that sold for $4.45 and is being shipped to Fishers, Indiana. Here is Salamanca, New York. Believe me, is the best town on the map. It's an older card. I can't really tell when it was postmarked, but it's a divided back, and it's got like a little picture of a creek and some stuff over here, but it's got a nice globe and some writing on the side here. I just posted that yesterday, and it's sold already. So it's got a 1-cent stamp on it. Yeah, I can't really tell the postmark on there, but it's really, I see a lot of these types of cards through this stock and stuff, but I always put these cards up. This card actually sold for $4.45, free shipping, and it is being sent to Salamanca, New York. So somebody lives in Salamanca, New York. Card is a Western card. It's cowboys roping a steer. Most of your Western motifs, postcards, are cowboys, cattle, white-faced cattle, longhorn steer for Texas. I always do pretty well with those, and this one is a picture of actually them roping a steer, and it's a chrome card. It's not posted. It's nice and straight. The edges are really good, and it looks like it's a painting that they took a picture of for the postcard. So there's no sign, no artist signature or anything there, but it is a chrome card, so it is a reprint. But this one sold for $4, so it was an offer to a buyer, and it's going to San Jose, California. So the next one is, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Rosicrucian Planetarium, and this is located in California. So it's a chrome card of some planetarium, probably a souvenir card. It's not posted, it's chrome, but built at enormous outlay of money and time. So it was built with the Oriental Museum. It's near San Jose on Highway 101, but that's a nice chrome card. Sold for $4.45, and it's going to Newport News, Virginia. So the next one that's sold is cranberry harvest on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So they're out there picking cranberries. It's a chrome card. It is posted on, not for sure if I can tell, there's no year on it on there, but it is posted. It does have a stamp, like a reason unclaimed return to sender post stamp from the post office on the back, some writing, but it was posted. And they're picking cranberries from the harvest in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And the edges are really nice on this card. The stock is, and the colors are good. There's not a lot of scratching on this chrome. So it's sold for $4.45 plus free shipping, and it's going to Provincetown, Maine. The next one that's sold is another Knott's Berry Farm in California. It's the entrance to the gold mine at Knott's Berry Farm, California. So I sell a lot of Knott's Berry Farm. Even though there's probably thousands and thousands of these cards out there, people still that went there want to have it. It's not posted. It's a nice chrome card. Not a lot of scratching. It shows some cowboys, some miners with his pack mule and stuff like that on there. And this sold for $4 free shipping, and it's going to Bellingham, Washington. And in just a little bit here, I'm going to walk through how much you make an hour selling the low-cost items like this, postcards for $4 on eBay, and maybe it'll help some of you people to understand where you can save money and actually how you can make money doing something like this. So, I mean, you're not going to get rich off of it, but it will pay for itself and allow you to buy equipment or more cards to sell and stuff like that. So I'll get to that in just a moment. This card is another card that I just listed yesterday. This is the Central Park Lake in New York City. It's a really cool card. It's got the beveled edge cut on the sides. It hasn't been posted, but it has like some cursive writing on the side that says Central Park Lake, New York, and it's got a picture of the lake there, kind of hazy a little bit, but it's a really nice card. I kind of knew it was going to sell pretty fast, but I just listed this yesterday. This card sold for $4.45 free shipping, and it's actually going to Toronto, Canada. So the next one that sold was the garbage pail kit. I'll show you what it looks like, but I'm looking at, once I got into the shipping, I won't be able to show you the eBay standard envelope feature because this is going international and they want it shipped with an international package, so that's different. But that's her Formulated Heidi. It's like a sticker from the days. This is a 1986 one, just on the back. I just put them in the sleeve just like I do a postcard. I bought a bunch of garbage pail kit stickers, and they have been selling not too bad on there. So if you see any other cards, if you got a postcard store, don't be afraid to put any other cards in there. I don't put any sports cards in there. I don't know much about them, and so I usually don't do any sports cards type stuff too much. You can get really down that rabbit hole on that one. I leave that up to the experts. So break up the what's sold postcards for a minute, about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to walk through a little exercise. Me and my friend, he sells postcards on eBay as well, and we went trying to figure out what we make per hour selling postcards. What would a person that sells postcards for $4.45 free shipping pretty well make per hour? A lot of people say you can't sell low dollar items and make any money. So we're trying to take a look at that and see if we are making money. And you'll figure it out as I go through the examples. So the first thing we had to do when we did this exercise is figure out how much time do we have in one postcard. What's the average time from cradle to grave, from when we buy the card and to when we sold it, is what that means. So we agreed on 5 minutes. From the time I bought the card, I got it home, researched it, scanned it, listed it, and then sold it, is 5 minutes. So if I can do one card in 5 minutes, that means I'm doing 12 cards an hour on the whole life cycle of the postcard. So that's the number we want to keep in our heads as we go through the exercise, is 12 cards an hour. So in this example here, and there's 2 other examples, but once I go through this one, it'll make it real quick on the other one, so stick with me here. And remember, what we want to come up with is how much do we make per hour. So for example 1, we said for the year that you're going to sell 5 postcards a day at $4.45 free shipping. And I did that just for the exercise. These numbers are all fake. They're not my actuals. They're just something that works with the exercise. So 5 cards per day, selling for $4.45 free shipping. And every week of the year, I'm going to make $155.75 gross sales. For the year, total gross sales will be $7,076. Now, we also went back and forth to try to agree on a nice conservative profit. So we said 30% is a good place to be. Some people are higher, some people are lower. Some people have higher expenses, they buy cards higher, etc. But 30% was a nice conservative number. So out of that sales per year to $7,476 you did in sales, you get to put in your pocket $2,242.80 before taxes. So that's your profit, 30%. Then you look at it, how many cards you sold for the year? 1,825 if you're selling 5 per day. You divide that by 12, because you can do 12 per hour. That leaves you 152 hours. Then you get down here, on your gross sales, you're making $49.16 in sales per hour. Now if you go against your profit, what did you put in your pocket? That's $14.75 an hour. You make them by selling a postcard and putting it in an envelope and mailing it out. A lot better than digging a ditch. So you're making basically $15 an hour. So that's how the exercise broke down. Now let's up the game a little bit. As you move into postcards, you start selling more. As you list more, you'll sell more. So now I said in example 2 that you're going to sell 10 cards a day for a year, $4.45 free shipping. So now for the year, you're going to sell $14,952 in gross sales. And at a 30% profit, you're going to put in your pocket $4,485.60 by selling 10 cards a day for the year. That is 3,650 cards you sold for the year in 304 hours. Now what didn't go up is how much you make per hour on gross sales. You're still at $49.16 for gross sales, and in your pocket you're still at $14.75. So let's go a little bit higher. Let's say you've been doing this for a while, you have a lot of listings and you're on multiple platforms and you're selling cards, and you're at 20 cards per day for the year at $4.45 free shipping. Now you're selling $29,904 in postcards for the whole year. 30% of that is $8,971.20 in your pocket before taxes. So you're making $9,000 selling postcards. You're selling 7,300 cards for the year. That's 608 hours of your life that you spent cradle to grave selling postcards. But you're still making $49.16 an hour. But you put more money in your pocket. So the number of cards that you sell increases your hours, it increases your profit, it increases your sales. But when you break it down per hour, you're still there. So how can I make my dollars per hour go up? There's one easy way to do it. An easy way is raise your price. But if you raise your price, will you sell as many cards and make, that's a question there. Reduce your expenses. What are you spending on stuff? How much are you buying the cards for? So if you reduce your expenses, that'll bring your dollars per hour up. Also, your efficiency. Your 5 minutes per postcard, can you get that down to 3 minutes per card? By getting a scanner, if you're taking pictures with a camera, that slows you down and stuff like that. So if you reduce the top part, you'll get more on the bottom on there. So basically, a postcard seller is going to make $15 an hour, just average 30% profit. So you want to increase the profit, you increase your dollars. But that's the number we come up with. I'd like to know your opinions. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. But if I can sell $30,000 and put $9,000 in my pocket for postcards, I'll do it every day. Now, if you're a guy that spends 2 hours researching a card to get the extra dollar out of there, you're not going to sell as many postcards, but you might get more money for them. And that'll bring it to the bottom. So we're not that guy. We're not the guy over here spending, 2-3 days looking for postcard research. We'd rather get the card, take a look at it. If we think there's anything with our experience, we'll go ahead and put it in the pile of research a little bit more. but most of the time we look at the card and we list it. And if we'll get our fair value for what we paid for it, and if someone finds a gem in our store, so be it. We got what we wanted out of it. And there's been a lot of people found some good cards in our store because we are a volume seller. That's our model. But if you're a researcher model, you might not have 20,000 cards up. You might have some really good cards up there. That's a whole different model than what we do. We deal in chrome and linen cards mostly, and divided backs. Not a lot of RPPCs. You can never find Halloween cards, but that's our model. But I thought I would do this little exercise just to put it in people's heads that yes, $15 an hour is not bad. You can increase that by increasing your profit, reduce your expenses, and sell more cards. Alright, so let's get on to the next card. The next card here that's sold on eBay was another boat one. And this one is actually a steamer going to Cayuga, Toronto to Niagara Falls route. And it's a white border card, and it's got smoke coming out of the top. Nice card. It's not been posted. It does not too bad. It doesn't have a lot of tanning, but you can actually see there's like a little buoy in the background. So that's a really nice looking card for a white border. And this sold for $4.45, and it is actually going to Niagara Falls, New York. So the next card that sold is Looking West Along Ocean Boulevard in Long Beach, California. And this looks like it's like a 60s card to me. It's a chrome card, basically just an aerial view looking down there. Now I did put in the title Looking West Along Ocean Boulevard because all it has on the back here is Long Beach, California, so I wanted to put a little bit more keywords in there. So I used what they described it as Looking West Along Ocean Boulevard. So maybe I'll trigger some searches or somebody looking at. But this card sold for $4, and it is actually being shipped to Long Beach, California. This card that sold is the Cathedral Caverns in Alabama. And if you notice, there's some guy, some kid or high school kid, it looks like, standing with a red jacket right in the middle of the cavern there. And this is a nice chrome card. It has a little map on the back in the side there where you would, that's basically where you would write a message. But I think it's a souvenir card from the caverns. I get a lot of Carlsbad's caverns. They sell Yosemite National Park, Yellowstone, different things like that. But this is one I pretty well listed this probably a year or so ago, and it's sold for $4.45 full price, and it's going to Deerfield Beach, Florida. So somebody from Alabama is buying Florida is buying an Alabama card. I did show this in the last video, but let me cover up the address here. But I just want to show you what I'm doing in between. So basically, I have my envelopes. I put stamps on the envelope and I stamp them ahead of time with my return address. And then in between, I'm cutting it out so you don't see it, but I'm actually copying the address from eBay and I'm putting it in a Dymo label and printing it out and putting it right here. But on the back, I also have a stamp, a bigger stamp now, that I put our store, SMPostcards.com, on the back there. And so it says SMPostcards.com, variety of collectible postcards, open carefully, postcard inside. So it kind of, if you want to push your store name, that's what I do, because we sell thousands of postcards, so everybody gets to see that and they have to look at that to open the envelope. So maybe I'm a marketing genius, or I'm just spending my time stamping something. You never know. But I thought I would share that with you. Okay, so the next card that sold, it looks like a white border, but it's a linen card. I can actually tell and see the marks on it. I can feel it. But it's a linen card, and it's a Spa Beach and Recreation Pier, St. Petersburg, Florida. The Sunshine City. I've seen a lot of postcards and sold a lot of postcards at that pier right back there. They call it the $1 Million Pier or whatever. I don't know if that was a dig on the politicians, but Municipal Pier, there's a casino was there. I don't know if it's still there, I've never been there. But that's what the card is. It's not posted, but it's a really solid card. It's well taken care of. It does have a little bit of flea market, or it says number one, $2. I don't take any of that off. Whatever's on the card, when I get it, I sell it the way it is. Most collectors have not said a word about that, but for me to smudge it up with an eraser or anything like that, I wouldn't want to do that. I would rather let the collectors take care of that. And this card sold for $4.45, and it's going to Seminole, Florida. While I was doing the video and we were doing this, I sold another card on eBay. Cards sell all day long, every day, every time of night, while I sleep, when I'm awake. Cards sell, so it's like a constant revenue coming in once you get going. You know, a lot of people ask me about selling postcards. They got a stack from an estate sale of 100 cards. And if they're not geared up to do it on eBay, yeah, you can put them out there. They might sell. But if you don't have the envelopes, the stamps, the scanners, and stuff like that to do, if you're really just doing a little one-offs, that's fine. But a lot of times, selling the stack of 100 cards is a lot. Would probably make you more money with your time. But if you really want to get into it, I didn't really start seeing a good return to pay for the expenses and stuff and feel comfortable until I got to about 6,000 to 7,000 cards listed on eBay. Then the sales just started rolling in a little bit more, and we're getting up to between eBay and Etsy, we're over 19,000 cards. So we're going to be up to 20,000 cards between the two. So when you get that much volume, you always constantly got sales coming in. But we have a scanner that we scan the cards on to reduce the time. We don't do a lot of research on most of the cards. Just put them up there and just get the volume going out. But a lot of people ask about that. Hey, I got a stack of 10 cards. Will they sell? Yeah, they'll probably sell. You need to put them up. But how are you going to ship them? Do you have the stamps? Do you have the envelopes? The sleeves? Well, there is a little investment to keep that stuff up. So, but this card actually sold is from Spencer, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the inventor of the sewing machine. I don't even remember this card. And the inventory number on it, I think I listed it about 1.5 years or 3 years ago. But yeah, so that's the inventor of the sewing machine's house, the birthplace. And it's undivided back, and it looks like it's posted in 1906, and it's not in bad shape. It's in really good shape for an undivided back. The tanning's not really there, so it was well taken care of on there. But yeah, so birthplace of the sewing machine. Who knew? So this card actually sold. I did price it up, probably because I saw the sewing machine. I sold this card for $5.80 instead of the $4.45, and it's actually going to Concord, Maine. So I got $5.80 for birthplace of the sewing machine. Okay, so now we're going to jump over to Etsy. So eBay, we sold about 21 cards. Etsy, we sold 3 cards. HIP, I've sold 0 cards. So that's why I was saying in past videos, 80% sell on eBay, about 15% on Etsy, and about 5% on HIP. Give or take some rounding here and there. So eBay is the juggernaut, Etsy fills in the holes, and then HIP picks up with the automatic going across, because there's really no time on HIP. If I list it on eBay, it automatically cross-lists over to HIP. And there is a different clientele that won't buy on eBay, they'll just go to HIP. But I did have a 9 card ordered this week from HIP, so that was nice. And they don't have all the feedback. They do have feedback, but they don't get into all that mess. They basically, you got to deal with PayPal if there's a problem. They will get involved, but it takes a while. It's just kind of a Wild West sometimes on there, but everybody, most postcard buyers that I've dealt with, are really cool. They're patient. I don't have a problem over there at all with that stuff. But this card, the first card sold on Etsy, is a nice clear linen card of the Confederate Memorial Institute on the boulevard between Kensington and Stewart Avenues in Richmond, Virginia. So one thing you want to be careful with, they did a takedown, Confederate flags. There's a flag right here, but that's the American flag. So if you have anything with Confederate flag, the Mississippi flag and stuff like that, you don't want to post those on eBay. And I try to stay away from any of the Confederate stuff because they're pulling them down. They're just giving warnings, you know, hey, we took your thing down, but you don't want to be one that's putting stuff like that up there. There's some other things, the Cuba, I get a warning on, I don't put those up. But you don't want to put anything Confederate flag. Even in the toys, the Duke of Hazzard's card, the General Lee has the Confederate flag on top. We can't sell that on eBay. We take it to the flea market and that, or give it to one of my friends. But that's a linen card, and you can actually tell by the color. You don't have to feel this one, but you can feel the red count on it. And this sold for $8.45 free shipping. So we did price this one up, probably because the condition of the card is so good. and it's a Confederate part of it. So, and this is being shipped to Tampa, Florida. So the next card that's sold on Etsy is one that I've sold over a half a dozen times or a dozen times. Whenever you see this card, just put it up there. You get it up there for the right price, it's going to sell. I think I listed this one last week. It's Cacti and Desert Floral of the Great Southwest. It's got pictures of all the cactuses, and it's got names underneath them of each cactus and stuff, like in the flowers in the desert. This one, Joshua trees, anything with cactus in the Southwest, they sell right away. And seashells, but this one's not posted. It does have a little bit of writing from a flea market or antique booth, but I don't take that off, like I said. But that's what it is. But if you get anything like this that explains stuff, collectors really like these, and they sell really well. This sold for $4.45 free shipping, and it's being sent to Conroe, Texas. Okay, so the last card I'm going to show you for today. So you got to remember, I sold the oak tree. I sold a card of a tree. I just sold a card of a lot of cactuses. Now I sold a card of a doorway. Yes, it's a Nantucket doorway. That's all it says here, Nantucket doorway. I think I remember questioning this one when I listed it a couple months ago, but there's something about Nantucket doorways, and this is, I would say it's a divided back one, just the way the back looks a little bit, but you can go either way. But that's just a postcard of a doorway that someone in Nantucket liked. So if you try to guess what people like, I would never buy this card. I'm just not a doorway type guy, I guess. The tree looked cool, but there. So this card sold for $4.45, and it's actually being shipped to Dayton, Ohio. So a Nantucket doorway going to Ohio. Okay, so that's all the cards we had today. We had about 25 cards we went through, did the little exercise. Please put any opinions in there where you can think you're saving money, stuff like that to make the efficiencies. But this is our stack for today. That's probably $120 worth of cards just for one day. And we, appreciate you watching. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell icon, they say, so you can get notified on YouTube when you log in and when we put a video up. And we hope to see you on the